Shell shock? Oh my god, this episode from the Loud House sucks. Here are the reasons why this episode sucks in my opinion. The episode: while at school, Mrs. Johnson arrives to her classroom, ready to announce a big project. The project is revealed to be taking care of an egg, and whoever can protect their egg for the whole week will be rewarded with a big waffle breakfast, but if the egg is damaged in any way, they'll fail the project. Lincoln and Clyde are ready for the assignment, but Mrs. Johnson tells the boys that she'll be choosing the partners, much to Lincoln and Clyde's sadness. Clyde is partnered with a student named Penelope, and Lincoln is partnered with Ronnie Ann. Lincoln, however, is terrified, because he sees Ronnie Ann as a reckless person who's completely careless. While Clyde and Penelope quickly get along to take care of their egg, which they nicknamed Calliope, Lincoln acts completely cautious when Ronnie Ann tries to get a glimpse of the egg, which Lincoln nicknamed Rochelle, and Ronnie Ann nicknamed Toby. During lunch, Ronnie Ann asks Lincoln if she could watch the egg. However, Lincoln, fearing what she could do to the egg, makes an excuse to see Lisa, since she's at a nearby table, much to Ronnie Ann's frustration. During art class, Ronnie Ann shows up, forcing Lincoln to hide in the supply closet. While hiding in the closet, Lincoln hears Ronnie Ann say that once school ends, she's going to get the egg, and won't fall for any more excuses. Lincoln, needing to come up with a plan, sees numerous containers of rubber cement, causing him to get an idea. Sometime later, Lincoln has made a complete replica of the egg, one that is indestructible. The moment he finishes, Ronnie Ann arrives, and Lincoln gives Ronnie Ann what he thinks is the fake egg. Befuddled by his sudden change in attitude, Ronnie Ann leaves with it. Arriving home, Lincoln puts the egg down, and begins to relax. In the next room, Lana and Lowell enter the kitchen, while pretending that the floor is lava. As Lana jumps from furniture to furniture, she accidentally knocks the egg off the table. Lincoln tries to save the egg, when suddenly, it begins bouncing around like rubber. This causes Lincoln to realize that he gave Ronnie Ann the real egg instead of the fake egg by mistake. Under stress, Lincoln arrives to the Santiago house, and knocks. Ronnie Ann answers, and asks what he's doing here. Lincoln says that he just wants to see the egg. Lincoln enters the house, and sees the egg, completely safe. When Ronnie Ann exits the scene, Lincoln discreetly swaps the real egg with the fake egg. Just as he's about to leave, Lincoln notices that Ronnie Ann is a really thoughtful and helpful person, as she removes a splinter stuck in Bobby's finger, washed all of his work uniforms, and already has dinner prepared. Realizing that Ronnie Ann is not as reckless as he thought, Lincoln decides to put the real egg back. Suddenly, the fake egg begins bouncing around, and Ronnie Ann takes note of this. When Ronnie Ann realizes that there are two eggs present, Lincoln, realizing he has been caught, backs up to avoid Ronnie Ann's incoming wrath after saying that he thought he couldn't trust her with taking care of something so fragile. Suddenly, he bumps into the table, causing the real egg to fall and break. Upset that they're going to flunk the assignment, and that Lincoln misjudged her, Ronnie Ann tells Lincoln to leave. As Lincoln sadly heads home, he encounters Clyde and Penelope, who are taking Calliope on a stroll. After a brief conversation, Lincoln realizes that he knows how to set things straight, and head off. Sometime later, Lincoln arrives to the Santiago house, carrying a basket. After setting the basket down on the front step, Lincoln rings the doorbell, and takes cover in a bush. Ronnie Ann answers the door, sees the basket, and reads the note attached to it. The note says that there's a replacement egg inside, and Ronnie Ann can easily tell that Lincoln is involved in this. Coming out of the bush, Lincoln explains that he talked with Mrs. Johnson to let Ronnie Ann get a second chance, because he learned that she's not as bad as he thought. Mrs. Johnson decides to let Ronnie Ann have a second chance, as well as Lincoln, since she told him that he finally learned the true meaning behind the assignment. However, they won't be rewarded with the big waffle breakfast, but Lincoln doesn't care, just as long as he and Ronnie Ann get the assignment done. Ronnie Ann, grateful for what Lincoln did, invites him inside, since they're having waffles for breakfast. After walking into the kitchen, Ronnie Ann suddenly grabs the egg, and breaks it against a bowl. However, this just turns out to be a prank, as she still has the egg in her pocket. Lincoln, realizing it's just a small prank, lets out a forced sigh of relief as the episode ends. Wow. Just fucking wow. That was one of the crappiest episodes I've seen in my entire life. If you haven't seen it, don't watch it, it's a waste of time. I don't know who likes or hates this episode, so I'm gonna leave it be. So screw Shell Shock. And screw No Laughing Matter. Mall of Duty is 789,000 times better than Shell Shock. End of rant.